We want to speak life over you today. Every person listening, we want you to understand, no matter where you've been or where you might currently find yourself, it's not over. When God is in it, there is no limit. New breed. It's not over. It's not finished. It's not ending. It's only the beginning. It's only the beginning. Happy Saturday as you come in. God bless you all. All things are new. We brought some friends along to just encourage you a little further. James Ford, just for someone right now. No, it's dark. Just before dawn. It's not easy right now. Be the hardest season you spin me out. I've been there. We hurt till last. Won't be too long. Won't be too long. Because you are closer than you've been. You may not see it yet. Closer than you've been before. Come on, Israel. Oh, look to the sky. Help is on the way. It's not over. It's not finished. It's not finished. It's not the end. I mean, God bless you all as you come in. The story's not over. This is only the beginning. Hi, Steph. God bless you, sweetheart. Hi, Michelle. He makes all things new. Yes.
Stephanie.
All things are new. All things are new. In the spirit, I sense something starting to move. Something is moving. Everything is turning around. It's getting better. Seasons are changing.
Hey, world.
God bless you as you come in. No matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like right now, God says something. But this is when God does his best work. Sing it, Jason. There is no limit. When God is in it. God bless you as you come in. When God is in it, there is no limit. Oh, God is in it. See, it's not over. God is in it. Speaking to some of your family. Speaking to some of your money. Speaking to some of your body. It's not over. And saying to some of your favorite sons and daughters. Saying to some of your future right now. It's not over. Happy Saturday to you all as you come in. Hey, Alana, God bless you. Just believe it. hope for your life. So let me thank you. You can
Hey, Dar, God bless you. Good morning. Well, good morning. God bless you all so much. Happy Saturday as you come in. I know that many people will come back in. So I'm very happy. I'm very, very honored to have let me talk a little bit before I get into her. I'm trying not to look at her too much. But happy Saturday. Let me talk about the Fire and Glory prophetic encounter that's coming up in October. If you have not registered, I don't know what to tell you, but you don't want to miss it. All right. The Lord is going to move. This is the days of great fire and glory, and God is moving in his power, and he is just doing a great thing within the church, and he's restoring a lot of people during this dispensation of time. And so I want to introduce my guest, Gernae. Yeah, she has a YouTube channel. It's her Gernae Adele show, the Gernae Adele show. And Gernae, I know some people, Steph is on here. Gernae comes from a lineage here. Her mom, Mama Joyce, her father, Elder Chase, and her y'all. Okay, so let me just tell a little bit. Can I tell a little bit of your
No, do your thing.
So her sister is Jill, one of her sisters. I forget. I think it's 5 of you all, right, or something. But Jill is one of her sisters. Y'all have heard me shout Jill out for her savvy servant, and then her sister Shalay. I've had Shalay on here many times to tell her story and to minister in song. And so, and I asked Gernae to come on, and y'all, if y'all know Gernae, I know Stephanie knows her, but Gernae is like, she's hilarious, but she's like, leave me in the background. And so, you couldn't tell from her videos, okay, but she's hilarious and she's a great person. And so I asked her last year, would she come on to Daughters of the King and to talk about beauty for ashes? And she was like, for you, I'll do it.
Yes.
And so I'm very happy to have you on. The timing of God is very perfect. And so just even the time frame, she's celebrating her birthday. Round of applause. Happy birthday on Tuesday.
Thank you.
And I wanted to, I love talking and sharing stories around women, but especially I love coming for your generation. And, sometimes there's nobody to help bridge that gap, but there has to be a bridge for the next generation. And so I love bringing a lot of young women on to share their testimonies, because we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. If no one knows that they're not the only one who has had to endure and can come out, then people think that they're alone. People think that, oh, I'm the only one that has had to go through something. And a lot of people stay in that state, and they literally some people die in that state. Mm-hmm. And they die there thinking that there's nothing left to life. There's nothing left. God's left me. People have left me, and they feel desolate and alone. And so I wanted to have Gernae come on when the time was right, because I just know that God is doing something not only in her, but that your story will encourage another young woman to say no, that there's more. August is the month eight. The number 8 prophetically is the number of new beginnings. All right. And so that is very important. People, we have to understand the timing of God. And so I'm going to share this word that the Lord gave me for whoever may come back in here regarding new beginnings. And then we're going to go into Gernae's story a little bit. All right. All right. So the word of the Lord is, for thus saith the Lord, I'm rebooting your life. I'm giving you a fresh start. I'm canceling debts, both naturally and spiritually, for I am the one who releases debts. People who have held you captive and in bondage. For some, you've held yourself in bondage through condemnation, your thinking and your words. But I am going to give you a new perspective as you mount up on wings as eagles. You will now see your worth, value, and know that I approve of thee. Stop living beneath your means. I did not create you to be in bondage or poverty. Why did I come in the flesh through my only son? I would that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So get to work. I am charging you today, saith the Lord, to take the limits off of me. Now go forth. So I wanted to share the word of the Lord because, and I will post it with in here. Okay. I will post the word of the Lord in here because you all need to know that it doesn't matter. I just like God is like screaming, like it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. So Gernae has told her story on her platform. All right. But I wanted to share, just kind of go and talk, let her share her story some on this platform of Daughters of the King. So Gernae, I know I want to say don't know where to start, but maybe let's start like 2018. Was that when it, sweetheart?
No, 2018. I was having a baby. 2018.
So tell your story.
I was giving birth in if we start from 2018, June 2018, I had a baby. Oh my God. That was, oh my Jesus. That felt like yesterday, but it's 2022. So June 2018, I had a baby. I was turning 29. And I had a lot of, I didn't know what to expect with pregnancy because I've never been pregnant before. Never had a baby before either. But, I kind of, jump right on in. A lot of people say, well, the saying is, as soon as the woman gets pregnant, she automatically goes into mommy mode. So that really didn't scare me. But actually, when I found out I was having a baby, my uncle was transitioning. And what he was like my bonus father, if you will. So that was a really, literally the day I found out I was pregnant, that night he passed.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't know. I always say God gave me my baby at the perfect time because I probably would have been grieving way heavier than I thought I would have. Mm-hmm. I didn't really grieve as hard as I thought I would have over my uncle because we were very, very close. And I just think that my baby at the time was just like a little covering for me. Mm-hmm. And there were times I even thought I was going to lose my baby because I actually had a few complications during pregnancy. So from 2017, like the end of October 2017, when my uncle died and I found out I was pregnant, to the time I had my baby, everything was like flying in the air, but everything was pretty calm then. And of course, 2019, I was into mommy mode. But when 2020 hit, oh my God, 2020 hit. Forget COVID. I think I had the pandemic. Like, like a pandemic in my own life. Like, it was like COVID came 2020. That's when I would, if I was in the streets with my friends, I would say that's when shit start hitting the fan.
This girl.
But now I go, that's when the shift start hitting the fan.
Come on now. Come on. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
And we'll go into that too, because that's a brand of my shift happens is what I'm more walking into now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I would say then things started happening. And it's so crazy when I tell the story now because I can see the different versions of the hurt me and then the heal me when I tell the story.
Come on now.
So it's like a big difference now when I tell a story. I'll be like, oh yeah, I got my heart broken. And that's whatever,
But I want to go into not too much but I remember because when did I start talking to you? When did I reach out to you, sweetheart?
Probably in 2020 when DJ started going to school, like maybe like once a week. And
right. So
year,
we're gonna tell the story. I don't publicize all of this, but I just kind of want to go into it because it ties into your story. I don't have to boast about anything, but it ties into your story. And so Jill, her sister, the hurt me versus the heal me. That's a word right there.
It really is. Like it's a big difference.
Word.
It's a big difference. Word. It's a big difference.
And what happened is we have a nonprofit called Lofty Ground. Shout out, y'all know I always shout Jill out. I will forever shout Jill out because Jill came to me. I was not, sometimes God will send people to you to help bring out the gifts of God in you, things that, that they see. And so Jill had mentioned, Tanya, hey, I think this would be great for you and Virgil. And, this, and she offered me a non-part. She was like, God told me to give this to you. So I was like, all right. So, I don't take advantage of when people give me stuff like that part. Like people don't have to be nice to you.
Yeah.
People don't have to do nothing.
Yeah.
And so, I studied it and I was like, okay. And so, Jill Morris Smith. Let me put some respect on the last name because girlfriend is married all the way. Let me put some respect on that. Jill Morris Smith, excuse me. All right. And so
the Smith dimension is what
yes, give her all her kudos. Because her story is beautiful in itself. And so we started Lofty Ground. Jill, she was our consultant. And so Jill, we would talk and and so she told me about, she was just sharing about like Darnell. And so then I said, okay, fine. Let me, we started Lofty Ground. We have a program called Stream Science, Technology, Reading, Engineering, Art, and Math for young African-American males. All right. And so Darnell was coming and the Lord laid on my heart to have Darnell come to the center.
Which we are forever grateful for. I just want to say that because I don't know who this baby is. I'm just like, oh,
he's so smart.
Listen, I'm just like, and he was with my mother for the first 2 years as far as like going to work. And then I was able to come home in 2020, obviously due to the pandemic and stay home with him. But it takes it up another level. Kudos to y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. We love we love it. It does take it up another.
Thank you. And so he was a recipient of a scholarship that our center, Loving Hands Enrichment Center, offers, which is the Claudine P. Hopkins Scholarship in honor of my mom. And so Darnell was a part of this. And so this is how, I've seen Gernae. I've known Gernae like since she was a baby, but I'm just talking about how God just connected, the pieces for her. I'm really not shouting anything. It's just how God is connecting the pieces for Gernae. And so I remember him coming and Gernae was so like, oh my gosh. And this was around the time when you said when the shift happened, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, between 2020, things were still happening. So the start was 20, like the start was like June, July of 2020. And then really stuff just died down, to be quite honest. If you want to, like stuff is starting to die down now. And sometimes it take time. Like,
Amen.
I think Iyanla said one time, healing doesn't start at the mountaintops. It starts in the valley low. So when people see me now, I'm like, y'all don't really see like me looking a hot mess. Like a hot mess. Not just like on the inside, but the outside too. Because like, and then I guess we'll tie into that depression and how I even got here.
Yeah,
Because
but let's talk about the valley for a second because, you know, and I have to correlate it because, yea, though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, a lot of people, I've had visions of the valley, and people, it's a low place, man.
oh my
Like
God.
it's a place. That's why it says, I shall fear no evil. And I want to kind of correlate it because I've had visions of the valley. It's a low place. Like people are at the brink of death in a
Mm-hmm.
valley because it's either are they going to come out of this
Yeah.
valley or are
Yeah.
they going to die there?
In the valley. Yeah.
There you go. That's why that psalm is so David speaking to the valley. And I've had visions of the valley. It is like the most somber. It is like right next to death,
It really is.
and people are there. That's why Elijah spoke to the valley of dry bones, because people die in the valley. And so what the reason I want you to share this is because people need to know, and we have to know that you don't have to die, because people do die in the valley.
Mm-hmm.
And but God does not, a valley is never meant to stay in.
It's
You
just to get
cannot be
through.
sustained in the valley.
No.
So yeah, go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk
So
about it. Let's
I
go ahead
would
and dive
say
into that.
okay, so 2020, I went through like a very bad breakup with my son's father. I won't even get what happened to. I'll just go
Right.
from the part of because we're actually cool now, if I just want to put that out there. But that's all a part of the valleys. And let me tell you, I will say this myself. I tell like that bigger person stuff sometimes is for the birds. I'm telling you myself. Being the bigger person is not always healthy for you. I mean, it is, but sometimes it's really not. You got to kind of let it hurt.
You're right.
You
Right.
got to let it hurt because
That's
sometimes being
good.
the bigger person does not help you in the time. You got to let that thing sting for a minute. Like if you mad, you mad. Be mad.
Right.
You got to let it sting. So in that time, because of that time, and because of the events that led to a very bad ending, especially with somebody you have a child with, I knew I wasn't healthy as far as my brain and as far as my internal feelings. I was always an advocate for therapy, wanting other people to go to therapy, but I didn't know I would be in a position where I needed it. And when
That's good.
when I knew, I said something is not right with me. Like, okay, you do cry when you break up with somebody. You may or may not. You do hurt, or some may or may not. But when you were with someone for a long time and you really separate from someone, it hurts whether it was good or bad. And I would just feel like I would cry all the time. My body was real numb. And it was bad. Like my physical health was bad. I was super small, which is good sometimes, but that's not the way I wanted to get, my weight loss journey kicking off. But it was bad. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't think straight. And I have a baby, and I really can't physically take care of my son good enough. And thank God for my parents and my family and all that, whom at the time I was living with, but that's I don't think people really understand. And you really can't say, if you were in my shoes, everybody's shoes are different. I would not wish my shoes on anybody. Like my shoes are not your shoes. We don't wear the same size.
That's good.
You don't, and everybody like, well, I've been through that too. You've been through yours. You didn't go through mine.
Wow.
Like,
and that's what I'm glad you said that, because you can't tell my story like I can tell my story. And that's why I want you to share, because we need to understand this is why we're doing this. This is why, a part of what Daughters of the King does is because We overcome. Listen, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Even the parts that are dirty, that hurt, that stink, that you don't want to, you want to hide under a rock. But there's really no more condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus. And that's what the Lord was sharing in that word that I asked Wanda to post, and I'll post it because you need to know there's no more condemnation. So now when you said, I'm telling my story, the healed versus the hurt. So go ahead.
So one time I think I was crying in the bed and DJ was like, here, mommy, you want some tissue? And in my mind, I said, oh, H no. Like, I cannot, like, oh, my baby is trying to console me. He's 2, a fresh 2. And he giving me tissue. Like, here, blow your nose. Like, blow your head, mommy, blow your nose. And one day I just got out. I think I cried in the shower and I got out the shower and I couldn't move. Like, my body could not move. And I was like, something's wrong with me. Like, I'm not right. Like, I'm not good. Like, so I started researching like a bunch of therapists and I called maybe like 20. And at the time, this was like in the brink of the pandemic and everybody was going to therapy because everybody was so, the anxiety of what happens next. Nobody at this time knew. This was August 2020, well, July 2020. We just got home in March 2020. So it only been a few months. And we had no idea of a vaccine. We had no idea of we would go back to work. Nobody knew anything. So a lot of therapists were booked because you could do virtual. So every time I call somebody, no, I don't take your insurance. I'm like, Dad, I got bomb insurance. Like, what's going on? No, I'm too busy. I'm too booked. And then I was like, okay, this one lady I called and I probably should have sent her this link. Oops, I forgot. She's going to be mad at me. But I called her, and when we got on the phone, every time I called a therapist, I would just bust out. Anytime I called anybody during that time, I would cry. Like, it was never a time where I was just like not sad. So I called her, and the one thing that I liked about her, she screamed me on the first call. Like, are you okay? Do you want to do this? Why are you, what are you doing right now? She didn't say, yeah, I can take you, or no, I can't take you, and just hang up. She gave me a full-blown screening. And I think that's the thing a lot of people miss when it comes to therapy. You have to have more than one session. The first session is just to see if you're going to kill yourself or not, to be quite honest. It's not that you can't go to 3 sessions and expect to be okay. Like, it just doesn't work like that. And she gave me a bunch of information and she was busy. And she said, you know what? Something's telling me I need to help you. So I'm gonna make time. I'm gonna pencil you in. Like, she called me on Monday. And let's say this was like July. Let's say it was like the 25th. I was in the chair by August 1st.
Yeah, and that was what, 2020?
That was 2020.
Is that when I'm trying to think when I started working. No, darn, and he came around that time too, right?
Yeah, he came towards like going into
August of 20. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, when I look at, I want to say that because I'm saying that, bringing that out is because how God touched people's hearts to help you when you needed it the most.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
It was like God was like walking you through the valley and giving you what you needed to come out of the valley. So you needed the therapist and you acknowledged what you needed and you were getting she's like, something's telling me. And it was the same way with me. God was telling me to help you. So it was that same thing. And I didn't even know that part as we're talking. So that's why it's important to hear testimonies, because God will send you help too. Whoever's listening, God will send you the help that you need. So go ahead. So you started in August.
I started like end of July, early August, and we were doing virtual at the time. And we laugh about it now. She was like, girl, that's crazy, because when I first talked to you, our first section, you were in the dark with the blinds closed on a hot summer day. Like, I thought I was schizophrenic. I thought I wasn't gonna be like, I didn't want to walk out my door. And it's so crazy when you say people could die in the valley. No, people can physically die. She told me, and I think my primary care doctor, they both were like, if you don't get your feelings together, like broken heart syndrome is real, like it can kill you. It can kill you. Like, you got to get yourself. I don't want to harm myself or do anything like that, but just grieving can kill
Oh
you
yeah,
in real
absolutely,
life. Like, grieving,
absolutely.
like if you ever see somebody die and they had a husband or wife who lived, and then
Yes,
6 months later or a year down the line, the husband or wife dies as well because they literally can't live without the person.
right,
They've grieved themselves to death, literally grieved
right.
themselves to death. That really happens. So I was like, Jesus Christ. So I would see my therapist literally, was it every Thursday? I think it was every Tuesday. Whatever day it was, for a week. And I went for 14 months straight.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things my therapist always prides herself on for me is she was like, you never miss a day. I don't care what it is. Like, you never miss a day. And then a lot of people would get scared that I was in therapy because they're like, you need to pray. You need to pray. I'm like, I don't think you're getting it. I can't pray for myself right now. Like, you're not getting it.
Mm.
Like, pray that I find a
Let's
good
talk
therapist.
about that. And you know
Right.
what? This is why I love you, girl. You off the chain. Listen, pray that you find. But here's the thing. Let's talk about that. And when you said you couldn't pray for yourself, because we all have moments where we're weak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it says, he who is spiritual should restore such a one. That means, so if I'm telling you that I can't pray for myself right now,
Mm-hmm.
or, which is what you were saying, then, because y'all be real, y'all know I don't play no games. I don't give a care. I don't do religion. I don't do religion. I do relationship with the Lord. And one thing we're going to do is be free. All right. So you can't be free if you're bound and you're being honest saying, hey, so why you sending prayer requests? Don't come for me. I see, I
Yeah.
just told y'all I did real kindly and I said I don't do religion. So you wouldn't send a prayer request if you did not have a need.
Right.
So if she's
You didn't
saying
have
I
a need.
couldn't pray for myself, and you need that strength, so then that's what was needed. And I appreciate your candidness to acknowledge Wanda.
Right. I don't do those, Wanda. I don't
Yeah,
do
because you need both. If you need, and that's why I'm glad that you kept going, because you were a very active part. And I'm gonna tell you what I know. You were a very active part in your own deliverance.
Mm.
Your own deliverance. You acknowledge I need help. I can't do this on my own, and I need to get myself together. You took, see, because don't go there, because see, that's them religious spirits, because nobody wants to take ownership for their part in whatever's going on.
No.
Okay, so she said, I know I gotta get, if something's wrong, I need help. That was the cry. That was the
Mm-hmm.
cry. That was the cry. And so she got help, and she didn't miss a day. She didn't miss a day. And then even when she said, pray for me, and her therapist even said, I need to help. Something's telling me to help you. I know it was God.
Yeah,
God,
I always said that about
God
my
laid it on
therapist
her heart. And
because
God
she's
laid it on
good.
my heart to help with Darnell.
Yeah. Which we're always so grateful for. I'm going to keep saying that. We are grateful for that. I'm going to keep saying it.
Darnell is he is like a little Gernae, but the boy like he is amazing. Like
Oh,
this,
thank you.
he is so
The
amazing,
baby.
and this is what we have to know. And let me just kind of talk to people. You never know who you're blessing. You never know how your yes to God is going to bless somebody else. You know what I mean? And how you being obedient or reaching out and saying, giving somebody a hand is going to help somebody else.
Yeah.
And I remember Darnell was coming And so that was 2020. When did you get when you get the house?
I got my house last year.
So in the interim,
Literally
y'all, so
1 year
she's
ago.
going to therapy. Her son is being taken care of. Like, God is restoring. You see what I'm saying? And like she said, the healed version, the healed version of her is now versus the hurt. So this is 2 years later, as you're hearing from her testimony. But in the midst of God healing her, this girl got a house. Like, God blessed her.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Guys, oh, Jesus. I'm telling you, and even that was a testimony in itself, because I almost didn't get a house.
So, and I love sharing these. Y'all don't understand, because I believe God wants to prosper his people. I am not one of them. God wants to, but if you don't, this is why I do this, because women, young women, you need to know that this is not the end of, that wasn't the end of her story. And there's more of her story to come. We're just now sharing this part because look, she's no longer in the valley. And some of y'all have been in the valley and think that you're not going to come out, that because of whatever, the heartbreak, the mistake, the whatever it is, that there's no you, because you only see where you are right now, but you don't see the other side of it. And she sees the other, she's living in the other side, y'all. I'm telling you, I know what's on this girl's life. She be trying to play games and laugh about everything, but I know what God is doing in her life. I know the lineage. Let me be very clear that she comes out of. And I know what's on her life. And that's why I want women to share their stories, so that you don't think that that's the end of your life. The heartbreak, the disappointment, you have a child, it's fine. Get up and live.
Yeah.
Get up and good God. Get up and live. Don't think that it's a mistake. Don't think that it's over. Your life is not over.
No.
And God will give you beauty for ashes. Listen, she was in ashes.
Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ. Listen, I wish I had a camera filming me during that whole time.
But y'all gotta check out her channel. She do more than just.
Which I need to upload. I need to upload today. Actually,
she's amazing with wigs. I mean,
Thank
like,
you.
girl, makeup, like she's lit. You gotta follow her.
Thank you.
You gotta see her. You gotta go on her page, Gernae Adele Show. But to see where she is now and what God, and in 2 years. Thank God she acknowledged where she was. Thank God she got the therapy that she needed. Thank God that he kept bringing people to her life. When God throws you a lifeline, don't act like it's not him. Take your lifeline and run with it, y'all. I'm trying to tell you by the Spirit of God. You better take that lifeline. You better drop your pride. You better say, I need help. God, get me up out of this. And I need you to get me out of this so I can see another day.
For real.
Because my story wasn't exactly like yours, but I went through, and now I'm going to tell a little, I'm not going to go, this is not about, I just want to, but we got to share the parts of the story so that we can give y'all a full perspective and a full view of what is really going on here. Because look, I thought that my story was over when I was in my 20s in a breakup with somebody that I had been dating for 4 years. I just knew he was the one. You couldn't tell me no other way. Oh, and the Lord was going to save that heathen. No, he didn't. See, I be trying to free people. I'm gonna free you so you don't go there in your mind. And I was snotting, crying because you know, there is the soul tie part of it, but there's that, you know, because you are in, you've given yourself to this person. And so, you know, I'm snotting, crying. I mean, man, you would have thought somebody died. So
Yeah.
I understand your story. I'm sharing
Well,
this.
it feels like death.
It
It's a
does.
loss. It's not a loss and a deadly loss, but it is a loss.
It's a loss. And so I'm snotting, crying, all of that. And so with my story, I've been married for 24 years. God gave me somebody who loved me. You know what I mean? And that's what I really want to, those valley moments when you're walking through them, we want to give you hope to understand that it's a valley, and don't stay in the valley.
No.
Don't stay in the valley. God bless. Look, she 2020, God, she acknowledged, got the help she needed, got kept on going with, come on, you got to come up out of this. And I know people were praying for you. I
Oh
know
yeah,
they
definitely.
were.
I don't deny that. I do
Yeah.
not deny that. I'm sure, because it wasn't only rough for me. I'm sure it was rough for my family to see me like that, because I'm always on the up and up. Literally, my cousin said the other day, he was like, "Dad, you was down bad." He was like, for real. He was like, "I didn't know what to do with you." He was like, "You was down bad." He
But
was like,
it's okay that you,
"Yeah,
but it's like everybody knows that. And it's like, to see you now, it's like, thank God.
yeah,
Thank God you did not die in the valley. Thank God that you did not die there. Thank God, because of what God is doing in your life, what God is, your son needed you. And I always share that too. Your children need you. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And I understand that you may be in a place where it feels like just desolate. But if you keep going with God, there's more on the other side.
there really is." Even my therapist would say, she was like, "You got to see the light at the end of the tunnel." She was like, "You got to see the light. You got to see the light. You got to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You
And
got to see the
God
light."
blessed this girl during a pandemic. She got a house, her own place.
Listen, I was determined to get that. I was determined. I was determined. You gotta kind of want the help. Really, not kind of. You can't want to stay there. Like I always say, you let it hurt. Don't tell me how to feel. Don't do none of that. Let it hurt. But you know that you want to. You got to know that you want to get better. Nobody really wants to be hurt for
Yeah,
that, like, amount
that's
of
true.
time. Like, nobody really wants to stay down. Like, but here's the thing with like a depression, a form of depression. You're not asking to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, you're not saying, well, today I'm gonna get up. Everybody say, you gotta get up and say, today I'm gonna take on a day. You can get up and say, today I'm gonna take on a day, and then fall out again crying. Because that's literally an illness that is out of your control. That's why they have medicine. That's why they have therapists. That's why they have this. Because depression doesn't have a look. It doesn't have a person. Anybody can get it.
That's very true. And I'm glad you brought that up, because people think that because I have money, I'm not depressed. Excuse me, we see
Oh my
that on the
God.
news all the time, of people taking their lives, jumping off of buildings, and
Millionaires.
everything like that. So let's not play games, and let's deal with that, because that thing will kill you. Okay. And so
It's not a game. Like, if somebody tells me they're depressed, I take that very seriously, because I know what that feels like. Literally, you want to get up, you want to go outside, you want to do this, you want to have fun, but on the inside, you are crumbling. You're mildew on the inside. Like, you are crumbling on the inside. So a lot of people would tell me like, "Oh, you got to move on. You got to move." Who said I haven't moved on?
come
Like,
on now.
who said I haven't moved on? I'm sad, because I'm sad.
Exactly.
Happened to me. I'm
And,
sad.
and that's an emotion. And I don't understand, acknowledging the emotions will help to heal you. And
Yeah.
that's what you did. If you don't acknowledge the hurt or the pain and deal with it, it's all you're doing is putting a bandage on a wound. But as soon as you take that bandage, if you take the bandage off too early, it never heals. It
No,
never
ever.
heals. So you're just you're ripping the bandage off, but it's not healed. Why? Because you won't even acknowledge that you're hurting.
No.
It's okay. Listen, y'all, don't listen, because God wants us healed. And if I can say I'm hurting, I didn't like that. This made me angry. Anger is an emotion that God gave us. And
yeah, it is.
yeah, oh yeah, God gets angry. People just don't like to hear that part, but God gets angry. Okay, that part. So I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm hurt. You have to acknowledge it. And that's why I really wanted Gernae to come on, because I wanted people to see like beauty for God will give. I'm telling y'all, God will give you beauty for ashes. When you are able to acknowledge the feelings and the hurt and deal with it and work through it. You may need somebody to work through it with. I'm not saying you need 59 people. I'm not saying you need a whole artillery of people, but you may need some people to help you work through it. Somebody who can cover you, somebody who can, like your therapist was covering you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your therapist was like, okay, you got to see the light. Okay, I don't see nothing. All I see is still dark. But she was saying, you got to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And God was sending you help, even with your son. God was sending you lifelines to say, hey, no. I'm still here. I know you're coming out of this valley. I know you're walking through this valley. I know it's not hard right now. You were acknowledging where you were. And to see you now, I mean, I get so much, because everybody doesn't know that part, and I don't share, but I get so much joy when I see you now, and you're like, I remember you sharing the testimony, and I was praising God with you about your house. I was like, whoa, Jesus, come on.
Yes. And I didn't tell a lot of people then.
No, and it wasn't time. It's the timing, and she just didn't share it, and that's okay. And it's yours to share.
Yeah.
Or not. I mean, so I just wanted to share, because I want to give women hope, because, and I don't want to just, maybe a man that watches this, I don't really know, but I could care less, but I want to give hope, because people think that it's not. Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah.
Thanks, Keisha. That made me smile.
She's so, this girl is hilarious. So, but just to see her, the joy, kind of the joy, because that's not the joy of the Lord is real. You know what I mean? And so to see her being able to smile, that doesn't mean every day is perfect.
Oh,
that's
no.
not what we're talking about. But to see where she was and to see where she is now, I mean, it's just a testament of the goodness of God. It really is. It really is.
It is. And I think a lot of people, especially Christians now, they are so scared of, well, I can see why, because a lot of witchcraft is happening right now too. But they are so scared to say, no, I'm in therapy. I said, why don't you just talk to your pastor? And it's like, no, this is not a conversation. We got to separate our spiritual battles from our internal battles. Like, it's you got to separate it. Like, if I know when the spiritual, and then I know when it's something that needs to be, that's an internal thing that I need to fix on my own, and I need to see a therapist. Like I always say, you can have therapy and theology. Like, I know when it's something that you might need to pray about, and I know it's something that I might need to talk about. I mean, you pray about everything in general, but
you still have to talk through issues.
You have to, like,
how do we mix that? Because, or why can't we mix it? Let me go there.
You can, and I would tell, like, some people, like, you still in therapy, and I would be like, I'm not in therapy for me anymore. I'm in therapy to protect you, because I'm finna kill you. Like, you should let me continue to go. You want me to continue to go.
But you got to see the issue, y'all. The issue is that we don't want to be real. Y'all know how I am. If anybody ever met me, that is not me. I can't do that. I cannot be real with how I'm not be real, excuse me, about how I'm feeling. Okay, that doesn't mean I get to act like a cold fool. No, but I can still say, hey, wait a minute, this is too much. There's a line being crossed here.
Boundaries.
Disrespecting me. Yeah, like hold on, there's some stuff going on now. Don't do it. And so you have to be because that's life. It's a yeah. We can't be in the clouds 24/7.
No.
You can't, you might as well, you can't be no earth. Listen, I want you to be some earthly good. You can't be up here. Oh, Lord Jesus. You got to be able to communicate. And that's one thing. You can't, man, listen, that's not good. Think about even a soda. I'm just thinking about if you put so much pressure on a can, it's going to pop.
It's going to pop.
If you, come on, y'all. You got something gonna pop. And that's why that's how people end up going ballistic. And that's when it becomes, now they die because now rage comes in. That's a spirit, that rage and that anger. Y'all seen some people face. That's when it's like, but if you would, like Gernae did, if you said, wait, let me get myself, I need help. And I acknowledge that I need help. That is the beginning of your healing. Yeah. That is the beginning of you coming out of it. I promise you. I promise you, it's the beginning of you coming out. And I think that as leaders, even when you were speaking to that part, sweetheart, as leaders, if we deal with the real issues of life, right? Because they're real issues. If we deal with them and be like, okay, you having a moment, but you need to get yourself together. It might take you a moment to get yourself together, but let's work through this. Let's walk through this. Let's walk it out. That's called life, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not just...
And like a lot of people say, like, oh, you can pray it out of you. You can pray it out of you. Y'all going to probably be mad at me when I say this. You cannot pray it out of you.
No. Because prayer without works is dead.
It's dead. I say that all the time. Like, why do you think you can just say a few words and then go on about your business? You have to do the work.
Prayer without works is dead.
You cannot
alone. No, but that's faith. Faith without works. Excuse me.
But your faith and your prayer are aligned.
Come on here. There you go.
Your faith and your prayer are aligned.
Are aligning, because faith without works is dead. But faith is you praying and moving. Praying and moving.
You're saying it without seeing it. You
gotta be doing something. You can't say I want this job and never apply.
Yeah, exactly. You can, or never up your resume, or never go get some skills, or not. And people say that all the time. You can just pray. No, you cannot.
No, that's a misnomer.
It is.
And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth so you can stay free. And if you're not free, I want to get you free. That's a misnomer in the church. You can't just pray. You have to do something. The therapist, she acknowledged she needed help. The therapist said, I'm going to help you. She still had to show up to the session.
Every day. And if you don't show up, my therapist is a therapist. If you don't show up, she will not work with you, because she was committed to helping people. So she's like, if you're not going to do your homework, do you know how many books I've read, how many journaling I've journaled, how much writing I've done, how much, it's so much work that you have to put in, but you have to want to do the work. Now, I will say this, when you're starting therapy, when you're going, you have to be prepared for the people to fall off. People do not like the new people that you become after therapy.
But let me tell you what I know. I could care less what you like about me. You need to fall off.
Listen.
Because this is a new thing that God is doing in my life. And I like beauty better than I like ashes. Listen. So if you still like ashes, you stay right there. But I like beauty better. And listen. I like the way that I am now, because God is doing something in me. And so it's fine. Let them fall. Y'all know how
listen.
You don't have to like it, but what I'm going to do is stay free. I am not going to be bound to any man, to any person that is going to be detrimental to me, and to me keeping my heart pure and clean before the Lord. Because don't forget that part. And when you were talking about the journaling, listen, y'all, see, some people just don't know. The book of Psalms, y'all must ain't read Psalms. David was like, so how long you gonna let my enemies triumph over me? Like, how long is this gonna be with me, God? Like, David was crying. All the Psalms that were written was David's life crying. It was him telling his life on pages. That's literally what it was. David was writing, scribing, journaling. It was to show the humanness of us. We're still human, but man, we're like, no, God, but we still need you in the midst of this. I need you but y'all need to read if y'all read the Psalms, David was like, oh, I'm about to go kill my enemies. I'm about to light them up.
Listen, I feel like that all the time. All the time. And one day my therapist said, you should just walk around with a picture of your son on your forehead, because she's like, girl, I don't do jail visits. And I was willing to go. Still am to this for my son, anything for my son. But during that time, she's like, you just walk around with a picture of your son on your forehead. She's like, I don't do jail visits, girl.
That was good that she said that to you, to keep I don't know what my husband said one time, but he was like, when people act like fools, like do crazy stuff, they don't have anything to lose. I know I'm not saying it exactly like him, but
no, I get it. Some people don't.
They don't have anything to lose. He was like, I don't want to lose my family, or I don't want to lose my children. You lose by going to jail. Like, you lose by not being able to be with them. And some people don't even make it to jail, because if you in some cuckoo shootout or something,
exactly.
or the cops, then you gone. So you have to see the other side of it. Some of us can't. You need to see the other side before you make these
irrational decisions.
Right. These irrational decisions that's going to cost you your life, or put something on your record that doesn't have to be there. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate your therapist saying that to you. But what I more appreciate is you, Gernae. I appreciate you just acknowledging where you were and really moving beyond that. That took work.
A lot of work. People really not. People try me now, like not. And even in that season, so many other things were happening to me where, well, I'm not going to say happening to me, because I don't like to be like a victim, but so many other things were happening, so where I could have really gone off on people and had every right to. That's why I said sometimes that bigger person stuff. Even now, I'd be like, the bigger person no longer lives in me, because sometimes you got to let somebody be an example. If you keep
like sometimes doesn't live in me.
I'm realizing, like, you either with me or you're not. You either here or you're not. You either like me or you don't. And at this point in my life, I like being alone.
Listen, I remember, it's a good thing when you can go out with yourself and be comfortable.
Like,
when you can sit with yourself and have a cup of coffee or whatever it is and be at peace, because that's one thing you can't buy is peace.
No, and if you're thinking, anybody in my life at this point, if you're thinking that you're going to interrupt my peace, ruffle some feathers, you're going to be looking crazy, because I'm going to go outside by myself. I'm going to go to the concert by myself. I'm going to go to the dinner by myself. I have become accustomed to rolling by myself.
But it's so much joy in it, because it makes you realize, like, not that everybody, we know we love people. It's not that. I understand what you're, but to be able to say, man, I just had a good time. I'm just, to be alive, to be in soundness of mind, and to have peace. Like, you can't pay for it. That's
No,
what we were talking about.
no,
You can't pay for peace.
no.
And
I even talk about this with my therapist. I was like, Dad, it was so many times where I was like, I need to find somebody because I'm getting older, or I need to hang out with some girlfriends. And I just be like, no, no. You want to go, you want to go. You don't want to go, you don't want to go. I invite you, you coming. If you're not coming, then don't show up. I'm going anyway. And that's just what that is. And
I'm
people don't
so proud
realize
of you.
how really good that feels just to be like, oh, okay. If you're not rocking with it, you ain't rocking with it. Sorry, not sorry. You not sorry. Well, neither am I.
That part.
Like, you not. If I put it like this, and I've learned this from my therapist. If someone wants you to leave their life, or they no longer want to be with you, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a
Right.
friendship. It could be by any means. I'll open the door for you. But my look back is revoking access.
Mm.
You don't get to pick and choose when you want to deal with me. If you say bye,
I'm not one of them what's the thing? Have it your way. Like it
Burger King. No, you
yeah,
ain't Burger
this is
King.
not
Can't have
yeah,
it.
no.
No, you
No.
cannot pick
And
and
you have
choose.
to protect your peace. And I just thank God for you. Um Again, I know what God is doing in your life. I won't even go there today. But I'm so grateful for you coming out of the valley. I'm so grateful that God is giving you beauty for ashes. Like, and to see your son just healthy and smiling all
My
the
baby. My
time.
baby.
And
Off
he's
the train. That's my baby.
no, he's not. Don't come for him.
The Lord Jesus. I forgot what Jesus. Listen.
Don't come for Darnell.
I'm like, look, he talking about something. A pumpkin is a fruit. And I'm sitting here like, when is a pumpkin a fruit? Oh my God, it has seeds. My son know more than me.
Kudos, shout out, shout out,
Listen,
shout out, shout out,
listen,
shout out, shout out
listen,
to Loving Hands. But
listen. I was just like, okay,
and
okay.
it's true. It's true.
Listen, hey.
But he's amazing to see you being able to be here and be present for your son.
That's a big deal.
Oh, it's big
That's a big deal.
because it's so many people. I'm not going to go into all, but there's people who can't, they can't show up for, they can't even show up for themselves.
Self.
So it's hard to be able to pour. If you can't show up for yourself, how are you going to pour into anybody else? How are you going to pour from an empty vessel? And that's
Yeah.
what you were saying. Like, I'm empty right now and I
Yeah.
need to be filled. And so I am very grateful that we are having this conversation and that we did, and that you got to share your testimony. I would ask you, what would you say to somebody who may be where you were?
That's a loaded question because I could say a lot.
Well, say whatever you want.
I've changed. Like, my mindset has changed. Like, for somebody who if they're there now, you're definitely going to. This too is definitely going to pass. It's definitely going to pass, but you have to let it pass. Like, it might take a little longer than I did. It might take a little shorter, but you have to let it pass. You have to be hurt. Like, you literally have to be hurt. I know it sounds crazy, but you have to let the hurt just let it sting you as long as it can. As long as it can. And it'll eventually start healing. Like, when you get a cut, it's going to bleed out. It's going to bleed out. It's going to bleed out. But it'll stop bleeding. Eventually it'll stop bleeding, but it may not stop bleeding tomorrow. Just let it hurt. And I will say it's okay to still move on and be hurt at the same time. Like, you can be moving on, but if something offended you or hurt you, it could be 20 years from now, and I could be like, Dad, that person really did that. That was messed up. That doesn't mean I'm not over it, but it was messed up. No matter how long it takes, messed up is messed up. And don't let people tell you how you should feel. Like, definitely don't let people tell you how you should feel, yes, people can be empathetic and say I've been there, but they really haven't been where you are. Like everybody, literally everybody is different. Like I can't say, oh girl, I've been there. I know that all too well, but I don't really know how you feel because I'm not you. I'm not you. I really don't know. This, what I've gone through, this may have been a walk in the park for you. But it almost killed me. Like, that might have been a walk in the park for you. Or, everybody is different, like, but acknowledge your feelings. And it took me 2 years to learn that. Like a lot of things I would just hold in for the sake of peace, for the sake of family, for the sake of this, for the sake of that. Bigger person is, but nope. I told my cousin the other day, we laughed about it. Of course I was joking. I was like, forget that. Everybody getting hell from now on. Like from now on, everybody's getting. And people like, well, you're not healed. No, that is a part that healed me. I'm going to acknowledge it. Everything might not deserve a conversation, but I see it.
That's a good word right there. That's good. That's good. Everything may not say that. You said everything might not
deserve a conversation, but I see it and it's noted. It's noted.
That's a good that because it helps you to know how to navigate.
That
I know how to handle you or not at all.
Exactly.
That part.
The urban term will be you telling me I see how to move. Now that will be in the slang part of it, but it shows you how to navigate. And as loud as I am, people think if you're the loudest, you're not hearing. But I see and I hear everything.
Oh yeah, you a whole nother level.
I see everything. And I see it before it happens most time. And I just used to be like, Lord, I'm not finna get in your church pulpit and prophesy on the people, so you can go ahead with that. But
I heard what she just said out her own mouth, right?
But
I didn't say nothing, y'all.
Thank you for the great discernment. Because there have been times I'm like, I saw that. I saw that in my own eyes. I saw that.
But I'm glad that you said that, because when you see it, that's good. That's really good, because when you see it, you gotta. I'm telling y'all, listen. If you can be, if you see it, that discernment. Y'all know we talk about discernment all the time. When you see that, man, it's like, okay, pay attention. Don't act like the viper is not a viper. Don't act like the snake is not a snake. Don't act like the snake ain't gonna bite you.
I've been like that since I was a little girl, seeing things. I just used to think something was wrong with me.
Y'all hear her?
What happened?
I want this noted at 11:58 a.m. on August 13th, 2022, that she is saying this stuff. I am not saying anything.
I did. It took me 33 years to just be like, child, just go ahead and take it, because like I could see when things are about to happen. I know, like my gut feeling never lies. If my spidey senses start going off, especially when it comes to dating, people be like, oh no, you think you're overthinking. No, I'm not overthinking. I think my stomach is messed up, and that means something is not right in the water. Overthinking is in your brain, the gut is in your stomach.
What Fireball say? She said it's on, Gernae, walk in it. We gotta let that marinate in her, because she got that discernment like her mama. But I'm gonna leave it alone.
I always tell people, if you feel it in your stomach, then it's more than likely go with that. But if you feel it in your head, you're probably just thinking about it too much. There's a difference, but especially when it comes to dating. If I run at the first red flag, at the first.
Wait a minute. Let me get you around. Let me. Come on, sis.
Now, I ain't gonna say I never stuck around for something, but now, nope.
But because of, I'm just glad you said that. I'll leave it there. I'm glad you said that. So, back to what you would tell somebody. What did you say? They can't stay there?
You definitely can't stay there. Stay there as long as you need to, but you have to know you have to at least baby steps. Like when people say, oh, it takes baby steps. Really, it does take baby steps. Like it takes inch by inch, because some days I got knocked back to the, inch 20 when I'm thinking I'm at inch 80. Like it goes like literally. I went to therapy for 14 months. I'm back in therapy now, just not for anything, but because people think you have to go to therapy when something is wrong. It's not necessarily. I need work-life balance. Like this is something totally different than what I'll even. And when I went in for one thing. I had other things that came out. It was like paper were flying off out of the fax machine back in the days, like it was back in the day. But so many other things come out. And then I will tell somebody, if you do want to go to therapy you got to remember you're going to therapy for you and not for the other person. Like my therapist wouldn't let me bash anybody. I never really bash anybody in there. It always comes back to you.
Yeah, and even it is because even forgiveness is not for the person. It's for you. And see, this is why God is always dealing with the issues of our heart. So it's not that you're not. See, here's the thing: it's not that you're not going to have issues of the heart. That's why He says, even out of the abundance of your heart, out of the mouth, the heart speaks, because it's the issues of life that flow from your heart. So the issues are there. God doesn't want us not to acknowledge that the issues are there. He wants us to acknowledge it so that we can keep our hearts clean. That's
why I don't forgive until I'm ready. Nobody can force me to forgive anybody, because it's not for me. That's why I said being a bigger person does nothing for me. It absolutely does nothing for me. It does nothing. It does not help me. Like it helps other people.
Girl, I'm cracking up at you.
But it's the truth. It does nothing. Because if I'm still mad, it's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. But I'm triggered. And that happens a lot, especially if you're still there and you want to get out, you can be triggered. Then you have to remember that even if you're healed, triggers are still triggers.
That's why you have to guard your heart. Like when you say, I'm good, like if you guard your heart from the triggers, like, oh, I don't have to be a part of this. I don't have to be there. I don't have to do that, because I know what it's going to do to me.
For me. Right. And a lot of people won't understand that. But it's not for them to understand.
Exactly.
It's not for them to understand. And that's a person who were in the shoes that I once were, if you will, because I'm no longer there. If you're there, you have to remember that even if you're healed, triggers can still happen. Like you can be healed and you could be talking about something like, oh my God, that happened to me. And you're fire.
You be like, I can't believe that really happened.
It happened to me. Like dag, that really, like dag, I'm mad. Or you might go on to because that happened to me, and you're triggered. You over it, but you're just triggered. But the good thing about triggers is you can die down from a trigger. It doesn't stay forever. It goes off and you can die down from it. But if you're there where I once were, let it sting, man. Let that thing sting as long as and it could be men, it could be women. It doesn't have to, it's no hey Beck, it's no one-sided thing. It's not just for women, it's not just for men. It could be for anybody. If you have to let it sting as long as it's gonna sting. Like just keep letting it burn. Just let it burn. The fire's gonna go out eventually. So you gotta let it burn, but don't fight fire with fire. Get some help. Take your baby steps. Whatever your baby steps might be toddler steps. My baby steps were small. And that's why it took me 14 months. I said I did 14 long months in the pen. It took me 14.
But at least it wasn't the real pen where you couldn't get out and you gotta go see a PO.
It was literally 14 of consistency. You have to be consistent. I said, look, if nobody else is going to be consistent in my life, I could be consistent with myself.
That's good.
Just consistent work, like consistent meditation, and I do Christian meditation. I don't do no rocks and stuff like that. consistent meditation. Sometimes if I didn't meditate and somebody would tick me off, like I could feel the difference.
Wow.
I could feel the difference. Like, let me just get, like people don't understand. You really have to take a moment to yourself. If somebody say, I need a moment, give them their moment.
Man, I believe in moments. I'll be sitting in my car all by myself.
Like,
Let
give
me
them
gather
their
myself.
moment.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
really
take your
want to do
moment.
that. You do have to do that. You have to take your moment. And God does want to give beauty for ashes. I
Mhm.
want to share, I just want to share the word one more time, the word the Lord has um for you all. And then Gernae, do you have anything else for the people? For the good people?
I just want y'all to know, don't be scared if you're in the ash part. If you're in the valley, if you're in the ashes, don't be scared. It's gonna be all right. I know it sounds easier said than done. Definitely easier said than done. But I promise, like I can almost assure you that everything is gonna be all right. Like
I like what she said. If you're in the ash part, don't be scared.
I wasn't scared of the valley.
Mm.
I wasn't scared of the valley. I was fighting my way out of it, but I was like, whatever it is.
But you were fighting. And I pray that you all, or we pray that you get your fight back, one
Yeah.
through hearing the testimony. And then we pray that, that God gives you the strength
Mm-hmm.
to fight and get out of it and come up out of it and know that there is more. Okay, that there's more on the other side, that there is
Definitely.
beauty for the ashes that you might be in. There's beauty for the ashes that you might be in.
Yes, because you're not meant to be an ashtray.
Come
Okay?
on here.
You're not meant to be an ashtray. You're not. You're not. One day you're gonna wake up and I'm like, huh? Who? One day you're just gonna wake up and be like, that's why I said let it burn. Because one day you're gonna wake up and the person's not even gonna be on your mind anymore. They're gonna look totally different to you.
And you're going to look back and be like, God, you brought me through that. Thank
Yeah.
you, Jesus.
I thank God every day because I'm always reminded, like, girl, you was Jesus, you were down bad. I laugh at it now.
But I thank God that you came out of the valley and that God gave you beauty for ashes. I'm grateful that God showed you another day and that like you get to see you're still here to see your son. You're still here to now see the reward of coming out with, even God blessing you with a home. And I'm sure that's not but I want to talk about both sides of it. I
Yeah.
don't want to just talk. I want to talk the spiritual side and then the part that God blessed you with a house, because that's a blessing.
Yeah.
You
I,
know.
I, I mean, I took a lot of L's. Trust me. That wasn't the only L that I took.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just the one that was most notable. But that's not the only
That's
L.
good
Trust
word
me,
right there.
from 2020 up until about literally 2022, I felt like my life was a living hell.
Mm.
Like, stuff just kept happening over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, it had like a number of things.
Mm-hmm.
But, I always say, God don't play about me.
I just want to note one more time at 12:09 that I have not said anything to her. That everybody else is saying stuff and that she's saying all this stuff about herself. So I just wanted to bring that out one more good time because I'm gonna be messing with her for about a month about this.
Lord Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me read this to you all because some people came in later. All right. So this is the word of the Lord to you. For thus saith the Lord, I'm rebooting your life. I'm giving you a fresh start. I am canceling debts both naturally and spiritually, for I am the one who releases debts. People who have held you captive and in bondage. For some, people have held you captive and in bondage. For some, you've held yourself in bondage through condemnation, your thinking and your words. But I'm going to give you a new perspective as you mount up on wings as eagles. You will now see your worth, value, and know that I approve of thee. Stop living beneath your means. I did not create you to be in bondage or poverty. You know, poverty is not just money, it's in your spirit. All right. Why did I come in the flesh through my only son? I would that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So get to work. That's what we were talking about. That's what God is telling y'all, that part. Okay. I am charging you today, saith the Lord, to take the limits off of me. Now go forth. So I wanted to share the word of the Lord again. I want to thank Gernae for sharing on Beauty for Ashes and sharing her testimony, because we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And I know that some young woman, some woman who thought that their life was over, that thought that, you know, I'm not going to go over to the comments. I don't want to go off, but I know that there are women on here who thought life was over, that they were going to die in the state that they were in, that they were, because they had a child, that it was just over. Like life was over because of what happened with transition, and even how Gernae shared her story, and I shared a bit of mine. You know, I did that. We do this so that you can know that you're coming out of it. You know, I was there. I was there to a certain degree. And I know that, and like would you say earlier, sweetheart, my shoes are not your shoes.
Like we don't like, yeah. I wouldn't wish somebody walk in my shoes because
right.
It's not the same size. You don't know, literally.
You don't know that's when it's like you don't know the cost of the oil. When that woman broke open that alabaster box and they were laughing at her, and that precious oil that she put on his feet, like washing his feet, washing Jesus' feet. It's like, no, you don't know my story.
No.
You don't know what I went through to get here, and then how God kept me sane, and how he kept my mind, and how he was able to bring me out. And like, for me, I didn't even think I would ever be able to have children because of my life, you know, before. So for me, it's like, and to know that, you know, again, that someone loves me, but that was a desire of my heart. Everybody's desire is not to be married, so don't go there.
Right.
I'm not saying that, but that was my desire. And so to have that desire, and 24 years later, so we're sharing our testimonies so that you know that you too can come out of the valley. You too can come out of those ashes. Even if you're in them, you can receive beauty for ashes, straight up.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is when you're in there, don't just look for the flowers. You know, look at the darkness. Like go through the dark. Like look at the darkness first. You think stay off the Instagram manifestation trail, because you're gonna.
Come on, sis.
You're gonna think that you're healed way further than you probably actually are.
You need to say that one more good time, because let me tell you something. People be putting Photoshop, photo op. Half of that stuff ain't their life, and y'all thinking it's their life. That's not their life. They don't went and rented out somebody else's studio to take the pictures in. It's not their life.
That's the mountaintop. They're not showing you the real gutter part of it. Like you know, I'm aligned with this. I'm manifesting this. Like that is, you probably at 0. That's all the way to 1,000. Like you literally have to start from 0. Like if you don't, like the internet will trap you. You're probably not as healed as you think because you're reading affirmations on Instagram. That's not.
Oh, this girl a prophet, y'all.
No.
Oh, yeah, y'all. Somebody else
I'm
said
just
it.
saying.
But now she talking about no.
I'm just saying.
Y'all heard her this whole time.
I see it all the time. Like you really got to do some internal work. Instagram is fine. I'm on Instagram too. I do my mental health check-ins on Instagram and all that good stuff too. But that's me now. On Instagram 2 years ago, I was cussing people out. They deserved it, but I was. But I'm just saying.
She's telling the truth.
You gotta start from 0. You gotta start from 0. And then when you get to like 100, you're gonna feel so much better. You're not even gonna care about people like that. You're gonna love them, but you really not gonna care about people. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna roll off your back.
I know y'all see what I see. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Oh
This girl
Lord
is off the
Jesus.
chain. I know.
Jesus.
That's what
I'm not saying nothing else.
look, Stephanie, put them periods in there. Period. Because she a
Mm-mm.
trip. Oh, now she got her lips. That ain't gonna do nothing.
I'm
Because she's still seeing stuff, so it really don't matter. But listen, God bless you all. We know, and I know that her story has helped you. Listen, you may need therapy. You may need to find someone to talk to, y'all. Come on here. Let's get free. And
I
let's
think
say
everybody
it.
needs therapy. That's just me. It doesn't have to be anything wrong with you. It doesn't have to be anything. I'm gonna always be an advocate for go see somebody. Whether you're getting married, you want a relationship,
Oh,
you
you
want to
better
get
go see
out of
somebody
one, you want to
before you get married. Don't play with me. You better go
listen.
see somebody before you get married. Yeah,
Listen.
wait a minute. Let me take. Do y'all see me? Y'all better stop playing. Don't be over there talking about speaking in tongues. You better go see somebody. You better
And I'm
okay.
not just talking about
I just want y'all.
yeah.
You
I'm
better
talking about a
go.
licensed professional.
You better go. You better go to
A licensed professional. Then you can
we don't call it counseling. We call it mentoring because that's all.
licensed professional. You can add your pastor for a little razzle dazzle. He comes to seal the deal with prayer. But get you a
Oh
licensed
no, we
professional.
don't even do that over here. We
Listen,
not marrying you if you we not married. If you got a date, all of that. No, you go somewhere else because we ain't
listen.
doing it.
Licensed professional, then you bring your pastor in. That's just my who am I?
Listen, y'all better get some. Don't do that to yourselves. Don't do it. Don't you set yourself up. Cause you're gonna end up coming to see somebody out about it anyway at some point if you don't do it in the beginning
Listen.
and even during you may have to. So don't be fooled. Don't be dude. That's what we're saying. There's that natural part to life, y'all. That you have to walk out life.
It's a part of life.
You have to walk out life. Please. All right, so listen, enjoy y'all Saturday. This is our
Yeah.
last Daughters of the King for the year, y'all.
Oh, I
Yes.
closed it.
So we'll see y'all at the top of the year. With some whatever the Lord gives me, and we'll do that. But Gernae, thank you, sweetheart.
No
I
problem.
love you so much.
Love you too.
I appreciate you. Yeah, Tierra, I know you needed to hear her story. I'm glad you were on here, sweetheart.
Oh,
You
thank
definitely
you,
needed to hear her story. You needed to hear her story. So I'm very happy because you're going to come back and testify just like her.
Yes,
Just like her. You too, Dara. You're going to come back and testify just like her. Because I know a lot of y'all stories, but y'all going to come back and testify just like her. Trying to tell you, it's going to be good.
Oh, thank you, April.
Oh, yeah. You blessing them today. I'm trying to tell you.
Listen, that's, I'm just here to be a humble servant of the Lord.
Y'all don't, this one right, y'all. We're not going into that because it'll turn into a comedy show.
No,
Y'all be like paying a ticket because that's how funny she is.
No, I promise. Okay.
But y'all check her out. She can make you look, she help you get yourself together too, because we should look cute. That part. We should look cute. We women, listen, that's why
always.
we supposed to look cute. Don't be looking a hot mess.
Always.
Come on, get yourself together. Look, if you a hot mess right now, it's okay, but don't you leave the house like that.
Yeah. I agree.
Your self-esteem gotta be for you. I'm
not
telling y'all something that I don't do myself.
You
don't
look
be
good, you
looking
feel
no hot
good.
mess.
When you look good, you feel good.
You do, because I want to feel good for me. Look, don't be looking no hot mess. Get yourself together. Put on, hey, look, some people don't like makeup. I don't know. I love makeup, but I don't see. It's too many pretty colors and stuff. But anyway,
I'm always with my makeup.
Listen,
I'm always with my makeup.
Listen, adorn yourself. Make yourself. You gotta feel beautiful.
Yeah.
You have to feel loved by you.
Absolutely.
This is not about anybody else but you. So those beautiful ashes, man, listen, get yourself together. Don't be looking no hot mess. If you was a hot mess, hold up. Let me put on some concealer, do something. I don't know, but
We can just come see me. I'll help you do it.
that part. And I don't know, have you started that part, sweetheart?
I've
She has a whole YouTube channel, y'all. You know, I don't know. Y'all, some people don't like that. They want to be.
been open to clients. I've taken clients now.
Okay.
I
So
am now taking clients.
y'all go see her or check, and definitely check out her YouTube channel.
Can't be
All
looking dusty.
right? What?
Stephanie said can't be looking dusty. That's right, Stephanie.
Did she say that?
Can't be looking
Yeah,
dusty.
you can't be looking dusty. You gotta dust yourself. Dust them ashes off of you. Dust those ashes off and find and know that you have value and worth.
Yeah,
Amen.
absolutely.
You have value and worth.
Absolutely.
Glory to God. All right. So y'all have an amazing day. Thank you,
Yes,
sweetheart.
thank
I love you so
Thank you
much.
for
And I'll
having me.
see y'all at the top of the year. All right. God bless you all.
Bye-bye.